Walnut Hollow is a vendor that has been around for a long time, bringing you really fabulous staples for your crafting. Walnut Hollow now has come out with a brand new wood burner. Now for years and years and years, people have been doing wood burning, and now they have upped the game with this new tool. So the new tool is not just the handle with a point, but it actually has a heating unit that has adjustable temperature gauge. So it's not just one temperature. There is very hot all the way down to warm. So you're able to get different tones with the wood burning. But not only that, they have 4 new tips. Each one of the new tips gives you different options when you're doing the wood burning. So if we look on the back of their box, you can see all the options. There's the ballpoint tip, the universal shading point, the drawing point, and the rounded shading point. And I found that using all of those gave me a really nice variety to work with. So here's some projects that I made. Here just doing tracing designs, and then covered this with resin epoxy to get a really nice shine. So I used a little bit of paint to get some color on this. The box below is a really simple box, but really made it very cool with a little crazy quilt design, using all the different tips to get my different textures. To transfer my design onto this piece of wood, I used the transfer paper that came with the unit and a stencil for the flowers. And here I used a stamp. Stamps are something we all have a lot of, and just by stamping it onto the wood, I transferred my design. Once I transferred my design, how I did the wood burning was just something completely new. I hadn't done wood burning since I was a kid, so this was really fun to start doing wood burning again. This is the traditional way for transferring a design onto your piece of wood for doing the wood burning. I've printed out a simple design, and I'm using the transfer paper. If I lay that transfer paper down and then position the design where I want it to be, I'm going to use some low-tack tape to keep it in place. And now using a blunt end ballpoint tip, just very lightly trace over the design. When you're done tracing the design, lift it up, and there you have it. So now it's time to sit back and relax and start wood burning. I'm going to transfer the tip. So before I transfer the tip, I want to turn off the heat and let it cool down a little bit. And then I'm going to use the special tweezers. And it is still hot, and you want to be careful, but it cools off pretty quickly, and it pulls right out. Now I'm going to transfer to the ballpoint tip. This is one of my favorite tips. Snaps in, and then I can turn the temperature gauge on again. And it takes about 10 seconds for it to be completely hot, which is pretty quick. So with the ballpoint tip, I can do smooth edges. So I just work my design until it's done what I want. One thing with the ballpoint tip, I'm going to flip it over to show you that I love, is the ballpoint tip does perfect little dots. And I found this to be a really great filler in some of my designs. I also loved, I'm going to switch tips again, to get some straight lines. Nope, not this one, this one. To use, I guess we'll stay here. To use a straight metal ruler. So it's just a little lightweight piece of metal, and I believe this is aluminum, but I found it really easy to get perfectly straight lines by just taking the burner slowly along the edge, like that. So you keep working your design till it's done and adding as you go. Another way to transfer down designs is to use stamps. So I've got this cute little stamp set from Laurel Birch with all these really cool flowers. And the idea with something like this is when you're stamping it, if the stamp has a mask, so I stamp down first that large flower, then put the mask down. So when I stamped this flower, it didn't come into the design of the other flower. Then when I have those in place, holding it down with a low-tack tape, when I put another design on, so grabbing yet another one of the flowers in this design set, I can go right over top of the existing flowers, but those masks will keep it from stamping into the other area. And just like before, using the different tips available with the wood burning set, I can use very creative ideas to fill this in. I want to show you a couple of things I learned for doing the coloring of it. So on the box design that I did, I knew that I wanted to add some color, but I really wasn't sure exactly what tools would do the best job. So I went through all of the little tools I have in my house, and I found these to be my favorite. So the first was the Inktense from Derwent. This is a really cool pencil that gives you really vibrant colors. So let me show you. If I have the green here, I'm just going to mark down kind of randomly, so not even trying to completely fill the whole area, and I want to blend it out. So I'm going to use some of the Mona Lisa paint thinner. This is a different container than the Mona Lisa comes in, but what's cool about it is it's got this tip, so you can grab just a little bit of the liquid onto your stump for blending, and then it blends those colors all the way to the edges, and you can literally take out the pencil markings so it really fills it all in. And if you take your time, you can do some really beautiful shadings with this. So for instance, I've got that all covered with green. If I take my yellow Inktense, I can add some yellow to it here, and it will lighten up the green. So you can do some really cool shading with it when you take your time. Another tool that I liked was a watercolor pencil. So these are the watercolor pencils from Faber-Castell. And same idea, but with these, the colors were not quite as intense as with the ink tints, but that was good. That gave me a variety of shadings that I could use. With this again, I'm going to take and draw it on first, then put my paper stump into the Mona Lisa paint thinner, and then I can smooth it out so that you don't even see the pencil lines. So you can understand how you could really sit and work on this for quite some time. So you can see there's a lot of really creative things you could do with the new Walnut Hollow wood burning set. So when you're looking for these products, you're looking for the wood burning set. All of the wood, we have lots and lots of different styles of wood, some very rustic-y and some really beautiful plaques. So a lot of different things to choose from. And I hope you enjoy trying wood burning again.